Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Kubernetes Security Summit. I'm Dror Davidoff, CEO and co-founder of Aqua Security, and it's my pleasure to open this, the first summit dedicated for application running on Kubernetes, for security of application running on Kubernetes, which we hope will become an annual event. Thank you all for joining us here in Seattle. This is the beginning of a very interesting week, certainly a high point for the entire Kubernetes community. Our charter was to make this event open to everyone, and I'm glad to see so many of you here. We're excited and welcome you all, customers, prospects, enterprise users, ecosystem partners, and even some of our competitors. Special thanks go to our partner and co-host here, AWS and Red Hat, for their commitment and help to make this event happen, and of course CNCF, who enable us to co-locate this event with KubeCon. We have a tremendous lineup of speakers today and a packed agenda, as you can see. We felt it was extremely important to have the voice of the end user represented here today. And we're very pleased to have speakers from major enterprises, including JP Chase, Starbucks, Tinder, to share their experience in ramping up Kubernetes within their organizations. Amy DeMartine from Forrester Research will provide the analyst view, and you will hear the latest insights from technical experts across the industry. We will wrap up the day with a very interesting panel of solution architects that talking about questions they see commonly during deployment and their recommendation on how you can best get started. After that, you're all invited to join us for a beer or wine at Gordon Birch, just across the street at 5:30. We will have a casual table set up so you can meet with your colleagues and peers, network around with the people around here, and of course, talk to the experts that will be with you in the room. But why are we here today? Why dedicate a day for enterprise Kubernetes security? Kubernetes, more so than any other cloud-native project, have unified a huge community of developers and users around common standard for deploying and managing cloud-native application. And now is the cornerstone for any plan to migrate, deploy, or scale up application. And yet, we are just in the beginning of this journey. In his book, Crossing the Chasm, Jeffrey Moore described the stages which new technology get adopted in a market and how they differ in terms of needs and expectations. At first, only visionaries and few lunatics are there to adopt the new technology, and they are willing to take significant risks. Then come the early adopters, who are no longer the avant-garde, but still willing to accept risk and instability. The next stage is the one of early majority, which is the first step toward mass adoption. To enable mass adoption, the technology must achieve maturity, stability, reduce risk, and ease of deployment. The qualitative differences between that stage and the stage that precedes it are huge. This is the chasm we all must cross. And this is where we are today with Kubernetes. We're beginning to see the very first organizations that are crossing the chasm. There are some great evidence for that, and I think the first significant sign for that is the announcement earlier this year by CNCF that Kubernetes have graduated. Congratulations, Kubernetes. But there are also many other strong signs for the maturity of the market. There are other CNCF projects that have just now graduated, such as Prometheus and Envoy. There are 606 product and projects on CNCF landscape, including our own Aqua container security platform and our very successful open source project, KubeHunter and KubeBench. There are over 600 companies and thousands of contributors to CNCF projects. There are 78 certified Kubernetes providers. That is, companies with a Kubernetes distribution, including our two co-hosts here today. 78 different distributions. And there is more. Managed Kubernetes offering on the public cloud is growing very, very rapidly. The number of value-added services is growing rapidly, and security is topping the chart. And from first-hand experience, here at Aqua, we see that our customers and prospects are moving from testing and sandbox environment to large-scale deployments. This stage of maturity of the market gives security high priority, both as a necessity and as an enabler. Without the reassurance that mass adoption can manage for risk, mass adoption will falter and lag. Enterprise will become hesitant, and Kubernetes and its satellite technologies will not fulfill their full potential. But we won't let that happen. The very good news is that in the cloud-native world, security can actually be made better in ways that weren't possible until now. The breaking up of application into small microservices, their immutability, and the ability to automate their flow into production is giving far greater visibility, granularity, and control than before, and enable us to secure application by design, not as an afterthought. So today, you will leave here inspired by the experience shared by our excellent lineup of speakers, and hopefully by what you will learn from each other as you mingle during the breaks. Thank you very much for joining us here today, and enjoy the rest of the summit.